Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Barakata Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Makar Kadash. Double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles and bishops of Great Millstone, the Akim and Akwath, throughout the four corners of the earth, holding on in sincerity and in truth to the gospel of Lord Mashiach Yahushua in these days and times with diligence of mind. This brother Menashe of DC Camp. Another lesson for the hopeful elect. Yeah, so this lesson is just one of those simple, straight to the point edification. Edification, exhortation, encouragement. That's what we're all hoping to have as we move through the trials of this ministry. It's very important that you accept the obligations that have been assigned to you by the Lord. All right, different offices have different obligations that have to be fulfilled. So you have to take pride in accepting your obligation, in accepting your responsibility. Your role in this ministry is very important. Do not ignore it. Do not neglect it. That's why the Lord has always called His servants, to be faithful and true. Do the work of the Lord with faith. All right, so that when you are judged, you will be found with faith, full of faith, and you won't be called a hypocrite. You won't be called a liar. You'll be called a true servant. A true servant of the Lord always bring about the results that's expected. All right, so you get to the point immediately. This is from the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 7. It says this: rest in the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai Ba'ashem Akadash, and wait patiently for Him. So that's the job of the servant, to wait upon his master, to wait patiently, serving his master. All right. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way. All right. So do not lose focus. Do not get beside yourself because of other people's observation. All right, other people's opinion, or other people's actions. Okay, do not let that distract you from waiting upon the Lord. Okay, and it just says that clearly: fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way. So the folks of this world that have been linked in with the devices of distraction, devices of vanity, don't let yourself be found in admiration of them. Okay, there's nothing wrong observing them, but do not make it your responsibility to be tipping the hat to them, man. That's not what the Lord called you to do as a servant. You're supposed to maintain your frame as you deal with the distractions and oppressions and the ridicule of this world. Right? This world is running out of breath. Out of breath. That's why there's so much chaos. There's so much omission of righteousness in the high places of this world. All right. And then it says this: because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. So do not let your mind be bogged down because of the evil deeds, the evil machinations of the enemy. All right, Esau has already made up his mind that he's going to be against the Lord. And what can you do? You just have to understand that you cannot convince him. You cannot convince an Edomite to repent. Okay, repentance is only for the Israelites, and that's the so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, and so-called Native Americans. All right. Yeah, the wicked devices were orchestrated to be in the hands of Esau. All right, and that's just how the Lord has set His prophecy, that His enemies will always be searching for wicked devices to unleash upon the people. Okay, to distract the people, to render the people helpless, hopeless, and powerless, faithless. Okay, yeah, without integrity. So that's why it says, rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. So do not desire of the dainties of an opprobrious man. Okay, that's just a warning from the Lord. The Lord knows that the triumphing of the wicked is short. So why would you want to attach yourself to a flash in the pan excitement that cannot guarantee your salvation? So why do you want to be associated with such an act? That's just how it is. Action. Why do you want to, attach yourself to to a movement, to an operation, to a culture that is anti-Hamashiach? Okay. Yeah, Esau's law, statutes, and bylaws, or whatever you call it, policies, they do not encourage righteousness. They facilitate rebellion against the word of the Lord, against the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Lord Yahushai. And that's just the will of the devil, to sow discord. Just like when you read the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, 16 does the Lord hate. In fact, let me read it real quick. Just a reminder that, your focus on the Lord should not be a distraction. That this world, has to pull you away. That the distraction of this world has to pull you away. So you just have to be careful. All right. Proverbs 6 and 16. These 6 things does the Lord Yahweh Shemashai hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. See that? So that's self-explanatory. All right. So it's just how it is, man. That's just what this world has conditioned our people to accept. The pride of life, falsehoods, and violence, marital violence, murder, all that stuff, man, aggravated assaults. And then verse 18 says, and hearts that devised wicked imaginations. All right, always scheming on how to overthrow the righteousness of the elect. Okay, feet that be swift in running to mischief. So there's always a falsehood that's on the back burner of the enemies of the Lord, to try to detract from the accomplishments of this ministry. The slandering of brothers' characters, the harassing texts, phone calls, the shadow banning. Yeah, it's just part of the things the Lord hates. All right. And then verse 19 says, a false witness that speaketh lies. So you see that? So that's what you have to deal with on a regular basis. False reports. False witnesses willing to propagate lies against the anointed of the Lord Mashiach Yahushai. And he that soweth discord among brethren. So that's one thing that you have to avoid, man. You cannot be an ambassador sowing discord among the body of the Lord Mashiach Yahushua. You're supposed to be promoting unity, all right? You should be in that spirit of exhortation, the spirit of upliftment of the gospel of the Lord Mashiach Yahushua. So that's just one of the, the better definitions. When you think about the devices of the wicked, of the churl, this is it. The Lord has already made known to you these acts that pisses him off, that makes the wrath of the Lord, to bubble up to the surface, man. Just let the Lord talk about all that stress, his frustrations and all that stuff. You just have to accept it, man. The Lord is not a power that just ignores the sufferings of his people. He's vexed with the unrighteous dealings. That's why he has to bring about a judgment. So the book of Sirach chapter 2 verses 1 and 2 is what I'm going to read. It says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. So you have to be on a solid ground to oppose the abominations that the Lord hates vehemently. So you cannot ignore the instructions given to you when the Lord has already made it clear, made known to you what his standard is. So it's just how it is, man. You want to serve the Lord as a man, you need to have a standard. That's just what is required of you. Yeah, so always remember, man, it's a standard to your response. Your response must meet a certain criteria for you to be deemed worthy to be saved, to be found innocent, without a blemish before the Lord. You have to be able to overcome your temptation, all right? At the last end, that's why you have the spirit of faith available to you, okay? And then verse 2 says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure. So you have to endure all the abominations that's working in the midst of Babylon. Okay, you have to learn to oppose it spiritually. There's nothing physically you can do to overcome, the abominations in this place, man. Just like the apostle Paul was mentioning, man. All these folks that sell grills and all that stuff. Hey. Do you wanna use a grill that has been used to grill some shrimps, some pork, some possums, and all that snake? Oh, would you want to do that? No, it's polluted, it's defiled. All right. So just imagine, you buy some food from a Benjamite spot, but the pot was already used to cook some shrimp. The tongs, the spoons, and the knives were already being used to cut some shrimp. What are you gonna do? So that's how frustrating it can be, for the elect, because there's nothing pure in Babylon, man. It's just a vexation of spirit. But what can you do? With the grace of the Lord, you just have to pray that you don't get accustomed to enjoying the uncleanliness of this place, man. Folks always talk about the seafood boil and all that stuff, man. With all the prawns and crabs and shrimps and all that crazy stuff. The seafood platter with some lobster in it and all that. With lobster and corn and onions. It's just horrible. Yeah, so it's just how it is, man. When the Lord says that He has to bring about an awareness, it has to start somewhere, and it starts with the elect. And that's the reason why, this knowledge is getting hot on a daily basis. It's being expounded upon, that people are beginning to get it, So you learn to deal with it, man. All right. Verse 2, set thy heart aright and constantly endure. All right. Doesn't say you quit constantly. When you're consistently in the process of achieving a goal. So your goal is to learn to deal with the difficulties without compromising your faith, without you overlooking the commandments of the Lord. All right, you cannot be over righteous in Babylon, but don't use it as an excuse to join hands, with the unclean. Oh well, it's just a little shrimp juice that fell into your food. A little shrimp, fell into your jerk chicken. It's alright, I'll take the shrimp. You can't do that, man. So it just shows you that you can't eat the shrimp and then expect the Lord, to just turn a blind eye. It's frustrating, man. So you have to be on your P's and Q's, man. Just learn to be wise as serpents, and don't harm yourself based on your experiences here in Babylon, man. A lot of people bug out, man. They start having all this anxiety and panic attacks because of Babylon has, worked a number upon their minds. So when Babylon, attacks you, and you don't have a firm foundation, you just go into panic mode. You don't have room or time to panic in this ministry. You have to have faith. Faith is that cornerstone that the Lord has given you to be prepared for persecution, to be prepared for whatever misery that's coming upon the face of the earth. All right. So just to keep this clear and concise and move on to the next point. Yeah, it's when you preach the word of the Lord with a heavy heart, you understand that there's so much pain and suffering you have to deal with, and you have to proceed, man. You can't just throw in the towel and expect the Lord to reward you. You have to finish the course. You have to endure, constantly endure. All right, this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. Yeah, so you learn exactly what qualities the Lord wants you to work on. You can't work on all the qualities in one day. All right, so you have to learn to take a few a day, if not even one, and then you work on it. You take notes, and then you build on it, and then you move on to the next one. All right. So we read from the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 15 and 17. It says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able." Yeah, so when you can't get to your family because of some roadblock, because of some emergency response, hey, just let the Lord handle it for you, man. And when times get really bad, a lot of folks will not be able to make it home to their parents, to their family. They'll be stuck somewhere, They can't get no fuel from the gas station, right? If they're gonna walk, it might take them days, days just to get there. It might take them at least 4 hours walking. Yeah, so you don't give up. You don't give up hope because of the difficulties you have to deal with. That's when your faith has to be harnessed. Just like a precious gem that when you apply heat to it, when you apply fire to it, it becomes much more valuable, and it's easily identifiable. Okay, when the results are seen, or when the results are visible, a lot of folks will be able to gravitate towards it. That's how this ministry is, man. When the work, right, when the understanding of this ministry, of this gospel, it's at an acceptable level, those that desire it, according to the word of the Lord, Amashak Yahushai, will do whatever he can to get a piece of it. An ounce here, an ounce there, whatever you can afford. That's how this ministry is, man. No one is going to be able to go into the all the history and the parables and everything in the scriptures, man. There's just so many topics to cover, and whatever topic that you could become an expert in, that's just what it is. All right. Yeah. So it's going to be tough, for those that do not accept the roadmap to salvation from the Lord, man. All right. And just like we read in Proverbs chapter 6, it says the Lord hates a proud look. And then it says this in verse 18, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So the abomination is going to consume what the Lord is going to allow it to consume. All right. The wicked devices of the enemy has a timeline that it has been attached to. Okay, the enemy has a timeline he has to go by, and the Lord has already set him on that part. So your job as a man of the Lord is to avoid linking up with the enemy, because your timeline is different. That's just how it is. Your timeline is different. There is no fellowshipping with the enemies of the Lord. So you have to accept the position that has been offered to you. And that's how you get your benefits, by sticking with the Most High's policies. Okay? Yeah, so more violence, more chaos coming in the future. A lot of folks are upset about the economic situation. Yeah, but what can they do? They're stuck in the web of Babylon, and it's only the Lord that can give you the proper understanding to escape out of that mentality of being a servant, being a homeborn servant from generation to generation. So Isaiah chapter 48 and 10 says, behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. So that's what the Lord has already made to register in the minds of his elect, to be refined. All right. When the Lord classifies you as his precious gems, he's got to put you to the test. Just like you find a gem in a rock, you have to chisel off the rocks. And then when you want the gem to be much more marketable to those that desire it, then you have to start etching the sides, man. And then you make it look much presentable to the eye. When you have a talent, the talent needs to be exhibited to glorify the Father. Yahbashima Shai Bashima Kakadash. So that's the best thing that can happen to a man of the Lord, man. to be refined for service, to be purified for service of the Lord Shai. Yeah, so that's why we deal with this ridicule, man. Sometimes, bro, just get upset with, the miscarriage of proper reasoning. Brothers just taking advantage of other brothers' situations without making the best results come out of it. So we have to learn to reverse that type of mindset and make sure that brothers are being uplifted, are being encouraged to be able to stand in this ministry. That's just what the Lord expects, man. Just like our forefather Moses had to encourage Joshua, the same mindset has to be a part of us. Okay, so it's beautiful to know that the Lord is gonna put us in a path where we need to be challenged, where you have to be chastised and validated, so you could be counted worthy. So the Lord has to have an operation for validation, just like you have verification. Yeah, the Lord has verification and validation. And once you've done those two things, then you can get the victory, the 3 V's. All right, verification, validation, and victory. So just accept that, man. It's a challenge, man. Don't look at negative experiences or mishaps or tragedies as something to bring you down. That's not what they're there for. They're there to chastise your spirit, to keep you centered. Okay, the Lord is not really looking for the unskillful in this ministry. He's looking for those with skills that pertain to listening, to the words of prophecy. Those that have an interest, a vested interest, to seeing the ministry of the Lord Amashaki Awashai flourish. So that's just a glimpse of the discussion. So just to wrap this up, we go to the book of Luke. Let me see. Is it Luke? Let's look at 2nd Ezra 16. So let's see what else. Maybe I read it already. Yeah. So see this. Don't let difficulties or mishaps or adversity break your spirit. Okay. So 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and 17 says that woe is me, who will deliver me in those days. The Lord of Mashiach Yahushua will have his angels watch over you. So it's just that clear, man. Yeah, the world, the folks of this world have no covering. But as an Israelite, you have a covering. When you have a covering, then you know you have no shame. You know that you are on point doing what is expected of you without making excuses. Okay? So, yeah, you're going to be challenged, man. You're going to be concerned about how you're going to be delivered in these last days. But don't think too much about it, man. Just go by your day-to-day level of faith. All right? Yeah, so verse 18 says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Yeah, don't worry about it, man. The Lord has already given you the advice. Just stay steadfast. Stay holy according to the will of the Lord of Mashiach Yahushua, and understand the challenge that has been set before you. You have no reason to quit serving the Lord. This is the best opportunity you could ever hope for. Despite your ups and downs in this world, Trusting the Lord Mashiach Yahushua is a perfect opportunity that you deserve to partake of. All right, you need to partake of it. Okay, if you do not partake of it, you cannot receive any of its benefits or its rewards. Okay, yeah. So yeah. So you just trust in the Lord, man. Trust in the Lord and stop worrying. Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not upon thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. So that's the answer there. The Lord's going to direct your path as you deal with these stressful situations in these last days. Okay? Yeah, so just to keep this simple to the point, we go to the book of Luke, chapter 21, and let's see what 17 has to say. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. So that's Yahushua expounding upon the experience to come, upon the physical parts of this ministry that affects the brotherhood, that affects the body, okay, in the negative light. But it's up to you to channel that positive reaction and let the Lord guide you through it, okay? So, verse 18, but there shall not an hair of your head perish. So there will be no perishing, man. There will be no elimination of the elect, since they've been worthy from the beginning of the foundation of the earth. And that's how the Lord has operated. When His Spirit is upon you to praise His holy name, to gravitate towards His righteousness, you can't resist it, man. You can't resist it. You just find yourself, looking for an opportunity to serve the Lord. Yeah, so verse 19 says, in your patience possess ye your souls. So you wouldn't have to be acting out of character, having a nervous breakdown, having panic attacks, all because of the difficulties in Babylon. Because when you have all these road accidents and all these wildfires that just spread out of control, you gotta have faith. You gotta have patience to know how to keep yourself focused and centered. Yeah. So that's what it is, man. That's what this ministry is all about. It's about keeping your mind centered upon the Lord of Mashiach Yahushua and not wavering, man. This world is like a tumultuous ocean. All right, just sweeping to the left, sweeping to the right, just unstable. That's why a lot of ships capsize, because of poor management. They were not built properly. So you understand the challenge about wrestling against your flesh. Okay, so it's the biggest difficulty you have to deal with. Suppressing the cares of your flesh. Yeah, so that's the Lord Mashiach Yahushua letting us know that the Lord is not here for falsehoods. He's here for righteousness. So we have to serve Him in spirit and in truth. The Lord is not a deceitful power. So why should our people use deceit when it comes to the ministry? So just got to keep on praying, man. All right? So that's the point there. Abaratza, you've been edified and you've been encouraged to accept the challenge of serving the Lord Mashiach Yahushua. You have to know what pain you have to deal with and what steps you can take to improve your situation. So with that, Kalhamdulillah, Yahaba Shima Shai, Bashima Kakadash, Barakatam, and double honors of the elders and apostles of good wisdom, and the Akim Akbar, try the four corners of the earth. Shalom.